Welcome into Locked On Astros. Rangers, how about a nice big broom for you?
Whoa, hold on. What did you take over the show? What's up, Trev? Hey,
What's
man,
up, dude? Long time no see, my guy. How we
I'm back.
I was just about to introduce the huge sweep and the silver boot being crowned to the Astros for a 7th consecutive year. And then here you are. Brett's
Let's
back,
talk
ladies
about
and
it.
gentlemen.
Let's talk about it right now.
Jainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett Htown Wheelhouse Chancey.
Welcome in, everybody, to the most downloaded Astros podcast on the planet. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. You know where to find me. At Htown Wheelhouse. This is Trevor Hauer. Trevor Rush Hauer.
What's up, boys?
Find him. Trev Hauer. Eric the Man Huysman is out, but you know what? I'm off the IL. I'm still in recovery mode. I figured I could handle one duty for the day. That was tonight with the big sweep. With that big sweep energy, I had to come in. How you doing this evening, Trev?
Sweep. You see my comment in there? I'm just busy over here sweeping.
That's right.
Sweeping all the way to South Oklahoma. You know what? We'll be like Steve Smith with the Carolina Panthers when he went to Baltimore. Boom, boom, boom. You're dead. Take your ass back to South Oklahoma where you belong, Texas. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Definitely. Man, all I know is that I am super pumped to be back. Thank y'all so much. I got a ton of well wishes, dude. I mean, we've definitely got the best audience. And look, if you are making us your first listen, make sure you check out 5 Hour Energy Infusion into your chance to win a big dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the USA. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. It does exclude the Masters tournament, which then the contest ends October 31st, 2025, Halloween, right in the middle of the postseason. Now, that's actually right in the middle of when the Astros may be in the ALCS or World Series. I'm just saying, Trevor, I'm really feeling this team right now. When I left, things weren't looking good, and I literally took a break. I actually, there were 2 games that I didn't even watch. Actually, maybe 3 or 4. And while that bothered me, I knew I needed that break. But, man, this team, they just stepped up. And the things we're going to hit on today is Jose Altuve, a Rangers killer. We're going to talk about the Astros sweep, Javier's solid outing, and Brian King. The dude's perfect season's intact. I mean, Trev, first, the sweep. They needed to sweep the Rangers. A series win was not enough.
I say going into it, you need 2 out of 3. Easily. We can't settle for anything less. They did above and beyond my expectations. They went in, they got the sweep on Jacob DeGrom Day, on a day where Christian Javier starting a little bit shaky there in the beginning, but he definitely locked in on the back end of his start. I was telling Eric on the show yesterday, this is backs against the wall mentality, dude. I mean, you're either going to do a couple things here. You're either going to fight your way out of the corner that you're in right now, or you're going to lay down and die. The Astros, they don't have that lay down and die mentality. They are stuck in a corner. They're going to fight their way out. They pretty much just put a wet blanket on the 2025 hopes of the Rangers making the postseason. And how funny was it? Just a couple of years ago, we're talking about a Game 7 loss, and Rangers, we sent you guys packing. Houston is East Louisiana. This, and this. 2 years later, we just ended your season. So call that sweet overdue revenge. Adolis Garcia, I love watching this dude jog to first base.
Me too.
Great athletic play from Jeremy Pena. Watching Adolis, I thought he was the Astro killer, guys. Rangers fans. What happened? I thought Adolis Garcia wearing his Ninja Turtle colored arm sleeves and his stupid looking.
I noticed that. He
thought
was green.
I thought he was the Astro killer, but what happened? He didn't do squat.
Right.
Nothing.
No, well, Trevor, coming into the game, I mean, the Astros have actually had success against Jacob DeGrom. And I don't know if you caught the splits on the broadcast, but I mean, he has been a lot worse on the road than at home. But when the Astros faced him in Arlington, they did a number on him. Look, Jacob DeGrom is one of those guys that if you erase about 2 or 3 seasons of injuries, you're talking about one of the best pitchers in the game, hands down. But the Astros still had a tall task. Christian Javier has had mixed results coming back. You wondered how he was going to perform on the mound, and the offense had to step up. They got 2 runs early. They let them tie it up, and you're like, okay, is this going to be one of those games where they have to play from behind? And then as old Brian McTaggart tweets, Jose Altuve, the legend, continues. 37 home runs against the Rangers and 100 RBIs against the Rangers. That's the most against any team. And when my friends that I went to college with that are Rangers fans, when they tell me they hate Jose Altuve, they mean it in a sports sense. They don't like the guy because they absolutely can't stand the ownage that he shows. But this was a game. I mean, look, Javier comes in with 1-3. He, like I said, he's kind of been up and down this year, but the guy's coming back from surgery. The guy's coming back from being, out for a really long time. And you absolutely love the fact that in his 6th season, look, he's 34-21 overall. And we remember the dominant Javier in 2022. He doesn't have to get to that dominance, but if he pitches the way he did today, limits the damage, limits the runs, keeps runners off of base, gets the strikeouts, then you've got an ace in the hole right here.
And I could say this is the first time in a long time where he's been somewhat dominant against the Texas Rangers. They've been giving him some nightmares over the past couple of years. And, he's not easily rattled, especially against the Yankees. He's the most calm, cool, collected pitcher I've ever seen. But then when you play the Texas Rangers or maybe some other team in the AL West, that's usually when they start hitting the ball off of him. He gave up a couple runs there. There was one with 2 outs and a runner at third that I really wanted back from him. Just hung one over the plate there.
Right.
But he didn't let things derail. He got right back on the tracks and went to work. Also, Carlos Correa still putting together great at bats in the first inning, getting that pitch count up from Jacob DeGrom, dude. I think that was a 9-pitch at bat. Ended up getting on base too. Jose Altuve, as soon as I hit the send button on the tweet where I'm saying, why is he still hitting third? He hits a home run the next inning because baseball going to baseball always, and it's going to make me look dumb always. And also, you can't get enough of Apo Taco Jalapeno Papos, okay?
Yeah, I love that. Man, are you gonna open up a restaurant called that?
Yeah, I'm gonna open it right next to Taqueritas, whatever
Taquera
restaurant.
Arundis.
Yeah, that one. The on special tonight, Apo Taco Jalapeno Papos going to right.
Oh man,
field, so.
That was you must have written that down and scripted that out. But hey, real quick before we get much further, I do want to. There you go. I do want to say I really appreciate you stepping up big for me, man. It means a lot. The fans have had nothing but great things to say about you. So thank you so much for stepping in my absence. You know that you're the guy that we go to whenever we need a guest host. So you've done a phenomenal job.
Thank you for the opportunity, man. I mean, I love, I love going on the show. I love talking about the Astros, and
yeah,
I'm an out of place fan, but I'll always have a conversation with you about the Houston Astros whenever you guys want. So,
well, here's the deal.
Spaces late at night too on X. If you guys want to follow me at Trev Hauer on X, I'm always poking around on Spaces. Sometimes a little too late because I do work super early in the morning, but I'm always talking about the Astros whenever you're down to have a conversation.
Well, hey, here's the deal. So, I want to talk about this before our first break because I want to get into Altuve and Javier, a full conversation in our second segment. But in September, this is the month of the Astros. Get this: 8 runs, 11 runs, 11 runs, 6 runs, 6 runs, 6 runs, 5 runs. They've scored 4 runs or more a lot this month, Trevor. Now they are 61-16 when they score 4 runs or more. This offense has picked up where they needed to pick up. This offense has absolutely done the job. And when the pitchers have failed them, the offense has picked them up. And that's really what we have been looking for. 30 seconds. Give me your take. And then we're gonna hear from 5 Hour Energy and FanDuel.
Schoolhouse Rock said 3 is the magic number, but you've been saying all season long, Brett, that it's 4. That is what it is. The Astros have an unbelievable record when they score 4 runs or more. That is the magic number. And, kind of makes you wonder, where was this in August? Where was this in the later stretch of July? I know we were injured, but I mean, you had a lot of ground to make up when the Mariners were losing a lot of games, but one game at a time. You got 9 games to go. Big whoosh, 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 sweep against South Oklahoma.
Definitely. And you know what? We're going to talk about Altuve and Javier on the other side of this break. Guys, it's so good to be back, and thank you for hanging in there with me. Thank you for the good thoughts. And if you really love me and love the show, you need to go to, you can buy these on Amazon or at 5-hourenergy.com. Tasty flavors, all in 17 flavors. It's 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. Grape, ginger, and lime flavored shots. Brings the iconic taste of the golf course. Favorites to that non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies, making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course, you just need an extra push to power you through the day. 5-Hour Energy Transfusion delivers a clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. Wild stories that you can recall on the course, like my birdie. I would like to think back on a hole-in-one, but maybe that was when I was dreaming, because that never happened, probably because I didn't have 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. Golf is all about good times and good people and good flavors. Grape, ginger, lime, 5-Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts. Visit 5-hewin.com for rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes Masters Tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. And this episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. Check it out today because NFL is in season. I know the Texans are 0-2, but things have got to turn around, right? Because right now, new customers can bet $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel because it fits however I want to bet. Player props, building the same game parlay, or even jumping in on live action as it unfolds. It's quick, easy, and the best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet today. Oh, yeah, thank y'all for tuning in, and make sure that you not only making us your first listen, before we start Locked on Astros postcast, Michael Connor is there, and then watch him. Come watch us tomorrow at noon. Eric has an exclusive interview with an Astros prospect that I don't believe anybody else has interviewed. Getting the minor league, the farmhand, the professional interviews that nobody else does, like Locked on Astros. Jose Altuve, Ranger killer, 37 home runs. He's got what? Does he have 26? Or he's got 26 home runs now. He's 4 away from 30. I would say that quietly, Jose Altuve has had a solid offensive year.
He has, maybe outside of the month of August, but I mean, the rest of the team wasn't hitting in the month of August either. He found a good pitch to hit off of Jacob DeGrom. We've been seeing a lot of
his pitch.
Of these home runs. High in the zone, and it was something that he struck out on last night, something up high over by his eyes. That's why he's always swinging at those, because he knows he can hit those and hit those far. He's having a pretty good season at home too. I remember he hit one off the foul pole against the Angels on Labor Day. He's been hitting a lot more home runs to that short porch there in left field, short distance wise. That's a super tall wall, by the way. But he has been hitting a lot of home runs in that stadium. Something that we really didn't see a lot of in 2024. Didn't really see a lot of the Astros hit home runs last year. So it's great to see Jose Altuve do that. And, even at 35 years old, who knew? The little guy still got it. So I love seeing that. And he could be ice cold for 4 straight weeks. All it takes is one swing. And once Altuve starts getting that swing going, the rest of the team will follow.
That's right. Look, Altuve is inevitable.
Yeah, J-Rob, you're 100% correct.
Houston is inevitable. Right now, look, I'm not trying to jinx anything, but what you saw tonight against Jacob DeGrom, they did only get 6 hits, but they got the hits when they needed them. They were 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position. 6 hits and 5 runs off an ace like that, I'll take it any day of the week, especially at home at Dyken Park. And they've started playing better at home. Remember, they started out really good at home, then they kind of slumped and were kind of crapping the bed at home, and then boom. And now again, so Christian Javier, has had one of those seasons where, 1-3, you don't expect a ton from a guy coming back from Tommy John, but man, you got guys like Lance McCullers who are down. You got guys like Ronel Blanco who are down. You got guys that have tried to come back and they're gone. Javier, Trevor, tell me, I'm not saying he's 2022 Javier, but if Javier can be 85% Javier, that's still a weapon that I think any team would like to have, because he's been a part of a multi-pitcher no-hitter in a World Series game. He has the playoff experience, and he knows exactly what it takes to attack the hitters. And I think it's a good guy to have on the mound.
And don't forget his YouTube MVP. I mean, he's a YouTube MVP winner in 2021. He also spilled a bunch of coffee on himself in 2022. I also think he's better than he was in 2023. He had a big dip just a couple of years ago, and I think he's better than he was then. I mean, the wheels really started to fall off for him. I was thinking he was battling an injury or something a couple of years ago, but he's not really a big velo guy. He's not going to blow you away with a fastball, but it's some of the off-speed, some of the breaking ball stuff that he can pin you up against the lower corners of the strike zone. And he's starting to find that again. What I'm concerned about just a little bit is the walks, but I think he's going to knock those down the more reps that he gets. This guy's a part of history. This guy's a part of Astros franchise history forever. You mentioned the Game 4 combined no-hitter in the World Series. The only team to do that since 1956. And Christian Javier was the conductor of that train in that game. So he was also the part of the combined no against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium.
That's true.
I think earlier in that season too. So he's been off of that. And Luis Garcia, I mean, you kind of hinted on this as well. On the shelf. Lance McCullers comes back. I think he was on the shelf 3 other times since the first time he came back from the IL. We need Javier to stay healthy. We need him to get more of these reps, still knock some of the cobwebs off. Who knows? You might see 2022 Christian Javier come back, but outside of this start, has looked a little bit shaky. So you got to be a little bit patient with him. The only thing that's a little bit difficult about that is being patient when you are in a 9-game sprint to the postseason. So take that how you will. You could be patient with his individual numbers, but the team really is starting to sprint and take off. And once you give Christian Javier some run support, he normally pitches pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. And, while we're on this topic of pitching, the Astros have it set. Hunter Brown, Framber Valdez, Jason Alexander. Now, Framber Valdez, I think the big question mark because of what he's done lately. Trevor, how worried are you about Framber Valdez at this point going into the Mariners series? Because we know what he's capable of, but we've seen more meltdowns this year, I think, than normal. Maybe not a ton more, but are you confident that maybe he has flipped a switch because of the way the team's been performing in September?
I mean, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you right now, Brett, this is essentially a postseason, mini postseason series, give or take. We've seen how Framber pitches in the postseason, at least out of the last couple years. Am I extremely confident that he comes back? Because I think it's all between the eyes with him. My guess is no. I'm not really personally looking forward to his start against the Seattle Mariners, to be quite frank. To answer that question in a different way, let's just say for that last game of the series, I saw the projected lineups or the projected pitchers. Let's just say that I'm extremely excited for Jason Alexander in Game 3 and that Sunday game. I will answer the question by saying we got Hunter Brown Friday, Jason Alexander Sunday. I'm happy with that. If you take 2 out of 3 against the Mariners, you should be fine. But look at the schedule. You got the pesky Oakland / Las Vegas / Sacramento A's on the radar, and they know how to play you well too. So just take it a game at a time. Take it a series at a time. Take 2 out of 3 against Seattle. You just swept the Rangers. Go ahead and take 2 out of 3 against Seattle. They just lost tonight as well. Their 10-game win streak came to an end. Kansas City, thank you so much. 7-5 victory against the Mariners. So they're coming in on Friday night. They got one more game against Kansas City tomorrow. So hopefully going into tomorrow night's game, we can look at a Kansas City Royals series win, and we could have a 1-game lead going into Friday night's game.
So here's the thing. Frank says Fromber's comeback is 100% up to Fromber, wishing him the best mindset.
100%.
J-Rob says, I worry Fromber's lost his teammate support and they're probably scared to make an error behind him. And I really think that they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know what? We're going to go to one more of our sponsors, Nutrafol. I've actually used this product. It's phenomenal. And then we're going to talk about the king of the mound, Brian King. And we're going to kind of look ahead to the Mariners series, what will be some keys in Trevor's mind for us beating the Mariners. And we will go to that next. What's up, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in to Locked On Astros. Nutrafol is a product that I have actually used, and it actually works. You get $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping. Go to Nutrafol.com/men and use the code LOCKEDONMLB. You've probably seen millions of ads with hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. Well, there are so many products out there, and it's hard to know which ones are actually good to do anything. That's why you should give Nutrafol a closer look. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. And it's not just hype. It's a supplement clinically tested that targets the root causes of thinning and shedding with a protective approach, with a proactive approach. And I mean, like the Astros are inevitable, Nutrafol hair growth is inevitable. That's right. See thicker, stronger hair with less shedding in less than 3 to 6 months, in just 3 to 6 months. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering Locked On MLB listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code Locked On MLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Locked On MLB. Go today. Yeah, make sure you continue to make Locked On Astros your first listen, and also check out MLB Game Night for your second listen. Find all night long Locked On MLB Game Night, every game, every night until the World Series champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. So let's talk about Brian King. Brian King is the man. And dude, I don't know if you watched that post-game interview with Brian King, but old boy is yoked. I bet he could enter into a bodybuilding competition and probably win.
Well, you know what he does. You know what he does in the offseason, right?
What does he do?
This dude hunts with a crossbow during gun season.
Okay, I thought you were going to tell me he does like Muay Thai or something.
This guy is a professional deer hunter, professional deer harvester, much like myself. I'm not a professional by any stretch of the imagination.
So McNeese State, he's from Littleton, Colorado. Oh yeah, yep. This is a man. This is a dude that is wearing like the overalls with the flannel shirt with like the big axe, and then like he's got a deer lumberjack shoulder. Yes, exactly.
The lumberjack guy. So there's a couple different seasons when you're hunting. There's bow season and there's gun season. This guy hunts with his crossbow year round. You know how hard it is to pull that freaking string back for that crossbow? That's like 200, maybe 150, 200 pounds.
I mean, he must use, his deltoids, his lats, whatever it is. I'm just saying, I was watching that interview. I was like, holy crap, this guy is absolutely yoked. But Trevor, 65 and 1/3 innings pitched, 69 strikeouts. He has an ERA of 2.48. But the last 22 runners that he's inherited, or actually the 22 runners he's inherited, he has not allowed to score. And so that right there is phenomenal. This guy, 27 holds on the season, Trevor. This guy went from pitching 28 games last year to 65 games this year, and he's not showing any signs of slowing down. Brian King is going to be a key cog in this playoff push.
You know who woke him up? It was Trent Grisham. When he hung that meatball over the plate in Yankee Stadium, he was mad. He was upset after that. And then ever since then, he's been pitching just straight gas. 27 holds for him. He's a king without a crown right now, bro. He's missing his crown. I think next time he goes out on the mound, give him a little crown up on top of the cap. See what happens.
I have a question. Brian Abreu, I don't know, is cut out for the closer role. If Josh Hader cannot come back until this, because he said he could be back second or third round. Things are going well. Joe Espada said before the game things are going well, but they've got to continue to go well.
Hasn't thrown yet, though. That's the only thing.
Right. I believe Hader second or third round. They say Paredes is kind of ready. But let's just say we're in the same scenario we're in where Brian Abreu's not being trustworthy, is because Brian King's are you going to stick to his dominance over right-handers in those 8th inning situations? Or is he a guy that has the mentality? To me, he comes across as a closer. Like, I think if this guy were on another team, they would put him in that number 9 spot.
I've been saying, can we just run a closer system out of committee? Like, you know how the NFL, they run running back out of committee? Can we do closing role? Like, Brian Abreu statistically pitches his best stuff in the 8th inning. Okay, maybe if Brian King is overworked, overused, you can give Abreu the closer role that night in the 9th inning. If Brian King's fresh and ready to go, give him the 9th. Why not? Give them some different looks. I know Bennett Sousa is on the way back as well, and I don't know the status of Caleb Orr, to tell you the truth, and I mean, he's not really going to make or break anything, but
no.
we have a few guys in that bullpen, despite Josh Hader being out, that could really hold it down for the closer role. And a couple of those guys are left-handed studs. And I love to run it out of committee, dude. Like, I love to see, if Brian Abreu is looking like the way he did in Toronto, he should not be pitching the 9th inning. Sorry.
Yeah.
Give Brian King the 9th inning. If De Los Santos is looking okay, have him pitch the 8th and maybe have Brian King pitch the 9th if Brian Abreu is being overworked. Something like that. But the fact that we're still going with Brian Abreu is our closer right now, we might need to reevaluate that until Josh Hader comes back.
Right. And we don't have a ton of time left in the show, but I do want to talk about this before we get to Joe Espada. If we don't get to Joe Espada, we can hit it, next time. But when I'm looking at playoff matchups right now, the Astros have moved in front of the Yankees, I believe. And I believe they would host the Yankees in the ALDS if things were to end now. It was going into today, the Yankees would be hosting the Astros. Now the Astros would be hosting the Yankees. If you had to choose the Astros versus the Yankees, Astros at home for 2 out of 3, or at the Yankees 2 out of 3, what do you think you would rather see? I mean, I'm going to go with home this year, but do the Astros not? I think they're fine with the Yankees either way. Which one would you go?
I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to say, let's play a road series, dude. Let's go to Altuve Stadium in the Bronx. Jose Altuve Field at Yankee Stadium, and let's hit the baseball all over the field. Let's wait for Yordan Alvarez to get healthy. Let's have him hit home runs against that Mickey Mouse field short porch. Let's have Jose Altuve take all their starters deep to left field. I would honestly be that guy and feel more comfortable going into Yankee Stadium with a house full of booing, just salty New Yorkers that are just booing all the Astros because of something that happened 8 years ago, and having the Astros just hit batting practice.
I mean, can we get the "We Want Houston" chants? We can get the F. Altuve chants. I mean, Correa coming back. I mean,
throwing inflatable trash cans in the outfield, delaying the game. I mean, come on. Give me some of that. For real, dude. Give me all of that. I feel like if you get all of that stuff, you still get a bunch of New Yorkers and Brian Cashman, blaming the fact that the 24 Yankees and the 2019 Yankees couldn't win the World Series because of the 2017 Astros. Give me all of that combined into one series. Houston will win it. I mean, I would rather honestly go to Jose Altuve Field at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx and win the series there.
No, definitely. J-Rob makes a good point that the Yankees are playing with a lot of confidence right now. I mean, they have.
They want Houston. I've been seeing on Twitter. They they don't learn, bro. They do not learn. They saw the schedule, or they saw the standings if the season ended after yesterday's game, and they saw the Yankees were going to be hosting Houston in the wild card, and the "We Want Houston" chants came back out again. Dude,
exactly.
There is just no concept of learning in the Bronx, and
well,
they don't learn, dude.
Here's the deal. So The Yankees have Aaron Judge. The Mariners have Cal Riley. Those two are your top two Cy Young guys. I think Aaron Judge wins it because he leads in 7 or 8 major offensive categories. He's first in all of them. Cal Riley, yes, leads in home runs. He tied King Griffey Jr. For a Mariners club record 56 home runs.
Invested in by the way.
But I honestly think Aaron Judge probably gets the MVP this year. But with all that being said,
why not Zach Cole though? Why not? Where's Zach Cole in the AL MVP vote?
Zach Cole should get Player of the Month if he keeps hitting.
Why not? Why not? Brian King should get the reliever of the year. What's that award called? Just reliever of the year?
Oh yeah. Rolaids relief, reliever of the year.
Brought to you by Field and Stream Crossbows.
Or Pepto, yes, or Bass Pro Shop reliever of the year. How's that?
Yes. I can get behind that. Cabela's Outdoors. Exactly.
So look, man, we all but ruined the Rangers' chances. They have a 3.3% chance of making the playoffs.
Womp.
The Astros at 93%, the Mariners at 97%. To clinch, to clinch a bye, the Mariners have a 26% chance. We don't have a great chance, and the Mariners are still over us on percentage-wise to win the division. This series will be the most enthralling, exciting series because the Mariners like playing in Houston. The Mariners like playing the Astros. The Astros, I think, are up to the task. This team will get a day off, and I think they will use that to their advantage, and they'll come out, and they've got their horses. They've got the thoroughbreds, and Jason Alexander is one of those thoroughbreds. Yeah. This has been great, Trev, to get back on here. Like I said, I just want to end it with this. It's been a while since I've been on the mic. For me, it seems like an eternity. I actually took a week off of work. I've taken a week off of doing this, but it's been good. It's been good to get centered back. And if I could say this, I had what was at first classified as a mild heart attack. They downgraded it to myocarditis. But what I would say is the reason why I got help is because I paid attention to the warning signs. My chest started hurting. I had shortness of breath. I started sweating, and my left arm went numb. And thank God Lance Berkman did a commercial in the early 2000s with Methodist Hospital talking about don't ignore the left side. And I thought about that. My son called 911. My family was there for me, and I got the help I needed. I already got some medication switched from my rheumatologist. I'll be seeing a cardiologist on Friday. But look, there was no blockage. There was no embolism in my lungs, but I wouldn't have known that. And the doctor did say, had I waited, it could have been a lot worse. So if you have warning signs, I don't care if you're 25 or 50. If you have warning signs, don't ignore it. Make sure you take care of yourself because your family needs you to be there. Thank y'all so much. I thank God. He really had my back. I mean, without him, without my faith, I wouldn't be anything. He is the reason I live. And Trevor,
I was going to say, bro, to everyone out there listening to everybody, to you too, Philippians 4:13, you can do all things through Christ that gives you strength. Don't let that go under the radar. That is That's what right. gets you through every single day. Do anything you put your mind to. Don't ignore the warning signs. Enjoy life. Because if you ignore the warning signs, you're going to miss the Astros winning the World Series in 2025 and 2026. So do what Brett said. Do what Lance Berkman said. Do what the Lord Jesus Christ said. Okay?
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much, guys. Y'all have a good one. This has been a great show. It's been good to get back, but, after this, I'm probably going to need to go rest a little bit. A little bit more energy than I've used in the last few days, but I'm here. The Astros are inevitable. Trev is here. Locked on Astros is here. After you watch Locked on Astros, make sure you check out Locked on Astros Postcast and the Locked on Network. Make sure you know that we are your team every day, and no show does more as Trev sweeps us out of the show.
Bye-bye, South Oklahoma. Sweet dreams. Night-night.
Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams, Arlington strangers.
Night-night, Adolis.